Listen to the rules and procedures that will follow for tonight's meeting.
Good evening, and welcome to tonight's meeting of the Town of Babylon Zoning Board of Appeals. The following is the procedure that will be followed tonight. The matters will be called in the order they appear on the calendar, with adjourned matters being called at the end of the regularly scheduled matters. Matters cannot be heard prior to their published scheduled time. When your matter is called, please submit the affidavit of posting to the secretary and proceed to the podium and give your name and address. The chairperson will then swear you in and read into the record information we have from your application, comments from various town departments, and any correspondence received on your application. The chairperson will then ask you to make whatever presentation you wish to make to the board. After you have made your presentation, the board will ask whatever questions the board deems appropriate, and then we will ask for comments from the public. If you wish to speak for or against an application, we ask that you wait until you're acknowledged, come forward, give us your name and address, tell us where your property is in relation to the property that's in question tonight, and then please direct your comments to the board, not the applicant or the applicant's representative. We have to keep a record, and we cannot do that if there are people talking over each other or cross conversations. If someone has spoken for or against an application, and they have said exactly the same thing that you wish to say, it will have the same force and effect in the record if you give your name and address, are sworn in, and say that you join in those comments. If you have anything additional to say, please don't hesitate to do so, but keep in mind that you will be given only one opportunity to speak. After the public has spoken, the board may ask the applicant to come back to answer any questions that may have come up as a result of the public comments, or for the applicant to summarize. When the applicant comes back to answer any additional questions, if that happens, that does not start a second round of public comments. Once the matter has been heard, various things may occur. The board may decide the application immediately. It may reserve decision. If the board reserves decision, that does not mean the matter is approved or denied. It just means that the board needs more time to decide, may want to go out and look at the site again, or might want to review the documents and testimony further before making a decision. In either event, the applicant will receive the board's decision in writing shortly after the board makes its decision. If the application is approved, that does not mean that you can then go ahead and start construction or whatever it is that you requested from the board. You will have to wait for the building permit to be obtained from the building department before your go-ahead. On some occasions, the matter may be continued for another night. If it is continued, in most cases it will be for the submission of documents, a new survey, new plans, or something of that nature. If that's the case, no one needs to come back on the new date. The documents will be submitted and no further testimony will be taken. On rare occasions, a matter may be continued for future testimony. If that's the case, then people would have to come back to testify. If matters are adjourned at an open meeting on the scheduled date of hearing, no further notice need be given unless specifically required by the board on the date the adjournment is granted. 3 rules that may affect your ability to proceed tonight. 1. If the sign was not posted for 10 days, we cannot hold the hearing tonight. 2. If you commence this proceeding while you own the property, but no longer own the property, and you are here now to continue with the application, you will need either the written consent of the new owner or the new owner to be present for the hearing. This situation could come about if you sold your house or building, money was held in escrow at closing for a certificate of occupancy or permit, and you're here tonight to clear that up. Lastly, if your application is a commercial application and it's other than a renewal, and there is more than one tenant in the building, then you need your landlord to be here. Is there any applicant that has any difficulty with those situations and would need an adjournment tonight?
Is there anyone that would need an adjournment? Please rise and join the board in the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Yeah. Before we begin tonight, there is an adjournment. It's number 2 on our agenda, application 2232. It is located on Pine Street in Deer Park. Is anybody here on that application? That's being adjourned to January 25th, 2023. Okay, the first application is application 22231, property located at 124 Overton Street in Deer Park. I need your name and address for the record, please.
Yes, good evening. My name is Oluremi Oshikanlu. I reside at 124 Overton Street, Deer Park, New York, 11729.
Okay, and do you affirm to tell the truth?
Yes, I do.
For the record, we have a Planning Division memo dated January 6, 2023. Environmental Control memo dated January 10th, 2023. If approved, this application will not result in significant impact. Survey by Michael Scalise dated 12/7/17. Tax map acting as an area map. And,
Chairman, there's 4 photographs.
okay, what would you like to tell us about the application?
Yes, good evening, everyone. Our application is for a 16 by 34 in-ground pool in the rear of our house. The house is on a 100 by 100 lot, and it's a single-family house.
Okay, thank you. Turn the hearing over to Mr. Correcchia.
Okay, so I guess the variance is just for lot coverage here. All the setbacks are in accordance with the regulations. There's one stipulation here. Do you agree that any patio pavers around the pool would be a minimum of 2 feet from your property line?
Yes, I do.
Okay, thank you. No further questions, Mr. Chairman.
Any other questions from the board? Would anyone like to be heard on this application? For the record, there are none.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to approve application 22231 with the condition that all patio pavers maintain a minimum of 2-foot setbacks from the property lines.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Good luck.
Thank you very much.
As I said before, application 22232 is adjourned to January 25th. All right, help me. Okay. I'm sorry. Okay, it's January 26th for the record. Not the 25th. Okay. All right, help me with his name.
Okay.
Next application is application 22233. Buciccio. Danielle Buciccio? Okay. We're working on it together, bud.
It's okay.
Name and address for the record, please.
James Apka, 1200 Veterans Highway, Hopog, New York, 11788, and I work for Todd O'Connell Architects. We're the architect of record.
Okay. And do you affirm to tell the truth?
I do.
For the record, we have a Planning Division memo dated January 6, 2023. A Environmental Control memo dated January 10th, 2023. If approved, this application will not result in significant impact. A survey by Gary Bentz dated August 17th, 2016. Tax map acting as an area map. And
Chairman, there's 3 photographs in the site plan by Todd O'Connell, dated July 22, 2022.
okay, what would you like to tell us about the application?
This is a pretty straightforward application. Client would like to expand their already existing 2-story single-family residence. Their family is growing, and they like to do a master suite, some alterations and additions to the back of the home. In doing so, this house already is a non-conforming house to the lot, so we'd like to actually maintain the already diminished aggregate side yards. So we're not going to be making the side yards any worse than what the conditions are already.
Okay, thank you. Turn hearing over to Mr. Crutcher.
Okay, so the addition is going directly above the garage?
Correct. The addition will follow the footprint with the exception, if you look on the plan, there's only like a 12-inch overhang just on the second floor for a roof.
Okay. Another concern, it's not going to interfere in any way with they have an accessory apartment permit, they're going to maintain that, correctly?
Correct. They will be maintaining the accessory apartment permit.
Okay. Is there an entrance or an exit that connects the main house to the accessory apartment? 'Cause that is required.
A direct correlation between the residence and the apartment?
Correct.
I believe so.
Okay, because it's not shown on the plans the way we see it here.
Understood.
So we need to make sure that that is in the plans, and if it isn't, you're going to need to submit a revised set of plans
Okay.
showing that entrance and exit to the main house from the accessory apartment.
Understood. And if there was something that was on the original approved plan, we could make them open it back up if that was the,
Okay.
the,
As long as there's access from the main house to the accessory apartment.
understood.
Okay. No further questions, Mr. Chairman.
Any other questions from the board? Would anyone like to be heard on this application? For the record, there are none. Okay, so we're going to close the hearing. We're going to reserve decision and keep the record open for revised plans.
So we would submit those back to the Board of Appeals?
Zoning board
Okay.
office.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Next application is application 22-219 of Joe Layden, property located in Deer Park. Man, it's your night. Name and address.
It's
Name and address for the record, please.
It's Michael Arado, 245 Route 109, Suite D, West Babylon, New York.
And do you affirm to tell the truth?
Yes.
For the record, we have a planning division memo dated January 6, 2023. Environmental control memo dated January 10th, 2023. If approved, this application will not result in significant impact. A survey by Peter Barbazon dated August 3rd, 2022. Tax map acting as an area map, and
Mr. Chairman, there's a site plan by Captain Permit dated December 15, 2022.
what would you like to tell us about the application?
So we're here to maintain an existing deck and above-ground pool on a corner lot. The side of the yard that the pool is on is located on a, pretty much just like a dead end, like a cul-de-sac. There's no properties in front of the street, and then the street ends at the end of this property. The pool is about 3.11 inches, 3 feet 11 inches away from the required setback, and the deck is about 4 feet 7 inches away from the required setback, which is 40 feet, and the setback for the pool is 36.1. The deck's 35.5. Like I said, there's no property in front of this street. The street ends right there. It's a cul-de-sac. I noticed on the letter, you guys had requested, if it does get approved, that the deck is to not be enclosed. I have pictures so you guys can see what the property looks like. The deck's not enclosed right now.
You agree not to further
Yeah.
enclose it in the future?
Yeah, they're not going to do anything with it. And I have pictures of the street if you want to see how the street ends where this property is
Kinda-
located.
You can see it up here, right here,
Yeah, we have it on the
on
screen.
the overhead here.
Yeah.
So you also will agree to, if the pool is ever taken down or moved, it will be
Put in
built
the
in a conforming
proper place.
location. One question, what brings you here tonight? Are you selling the home, or,
They're trying to sell the home. We're representing.
okay, so you're just trying
just
to
wanna
legalize
maintain
the CO and everything for sale of the purpose of a sale?
Yeah, I believe like there was something going on with this house many years ago with this pool, like this house a long time ago. He had said that something had happened, and I guess it got lost. It's been like many years, and then he said it somehow popped back on his title report. He has no idea how, so we're just
Okay,
cleaning it
so
up.
you just legalizing, that's fine.
Yeah.
Mr. Chairman, I have no further questions.
Any other questions from the board? Would anyone like to be heard on this application? For the record, there are none.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to approve application 22-219 with the condition that the deck not be further enclosed, and if the pool is ever taken down or removed, it is rebuilt in a conforming location.
Second. All in favor?
Aye. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good night, everyone.
You too. Next application is application 22230. Property is located at 132 North 17th Street in Wheatley Heights. Name and address for the record.
Christina Bravin Morano Expediting, 2938 Hempstead Turnpike, Levittown, New York. Agent for the applicant.
Do you affirm to tell the truth?
Yes, I do.
For the record, we have a Planning Division memo dated January 6th, 2023, Environmental Control memo dated January 10th, 2023. If approved, this application will not result in significant impact. A survey by Lawrence Michael Haynes dated May 19th, 2015, tax map acting as an area map, and have anything?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, 7 photographs.
Okay, what would you like to tell us about the application?
Okay, we're here tonight requesting permission to install an in-ground swimming pool and a paver patio, in addition to maintaining a deck that exists and the existing driveway. So the owner purchased this home in 2013, and at that time, the deck and the driveway existed as it is. I don't know prior to that how long it was there with the previous owner when they made those improvements, but it's been there for the 10 years that he's owned the home. He wasn't aware that any of this was illegal until they came to our office to file a permit for the proposed pool, and that's when we found that out. So they'd like to legalize it and maintain the driveway, especially, they don't have any storage on the property, there's no shed, so the garage is currently used for outdoor furniture, bikes for the children, and they have 2 personal vehicles that they'd like to be able to keep off the street, keep on the driveway, in addition to the owner's father, who comes on a daily basis to take care of the kids, so he also has a vehicle that he'd like to keep in this driveway, and the kids play there safely without having to be near the street. In regards to the pool and patio area, we did review planning's comments, and the owner has agreed to reduce a portion of the paved area, which would remove 210 square feet, and that's the portion that was proposed abutting the wood deck and behind the pool. And that would reduce our request from 40.4 to 38% for the total building area. And this is in keeping with other approvals granted by the board, such as application number 22-028, the Tepper residence. That was in June of 22. And the building area approved was 37.88%, all in connection with an in-ground pool and a paver patio. So we feel it's in keeping with the neighborhood. And just the patio area itself that they are proposing. Oh, did you want me to?
No, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No problem, just didn't want to miss anything.
That's okay.
The remaining areas of the pool patio is just a typical walk around the pool, very narrow. They're actually proposing 3 feet from the property line, so we would be in keeping with that request of 2 feet all around the area. And it's just an L-shaped, you could see by the proposal, just a small lounging area outside of the raised deck that would be down on the pool level. So if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer.
Okay, so we're going to need to get new plans showing the
Reduced area.
reduced area. So
Understood.
and then we'll recalculate the, the overage on that as far as that goes. Also, the driveway, so the planning department, opposes the driveway for a front yard. So what is there? I didn't see that. Is there any way that that can be addressed?
It's been existing, as I said, since you purchased the home in 2013. There's no complaints. It seems in keeping with the area. They seem to have very widened driveways, long driveways. He'd have to incur a huge cost to dig that up. I mean, if he did it himself and he knew it was illegal, he would absolutely, clearly he came to the department to file a pool permit because he's doing things the right way. So
So did he increase the size of the driveway?
no, he
or-
purchased the home, it was like that. That
purchased
was
the home,
there,
it was-
and the deck was there in 2013 when he purchased it, and never came up in closing. It's never come up, he's never gotten a violation in 10 years. It was brought to our attention when we filed the pool permit. Our office isn't even familiar with the fact that a driveway would be considered illegal. We've never really come across that. I don't know if that's just in connection with the overall building area now with the
Well,
proposed patio.
There's lot coverage for the front yard, you know, and that's what we're talking about here, that this is, you know, substantial is what it comes down to. It's 48, almost 50% of the, you know, coverage for a front yard. Oh, thanks. Yeah, I don't know about the lot coverage. Okay, so your thinking is that you want to leave the driveway the way it is?
They would be extremely grateful if they could not touch the driveway and have to incur that cost. I mean, aside from the cost, they have 2 personal vehicles in addition to, as I mentioned, the owner's father who comes on a daily basis to care for the children when the parents go to work, so.
Okay. And you agree that the deck wouldn't be enclosed?
Yes, they would accept that as a condition.
The pavers in the patio, right? That you wouldn't 2 feet off and, you know, reduce the
Yes, we're
patio.
proposing 3, and they would never increase that.
Okay. All right, I have no further questions. Any other questions from the board? Would anyone like to be heard on this application? Oh, yeah. All right, you just got to come to the podium and,
I would like to know exactly where the pool is going to be
all
built.
right, so I need your name and address for the record.
I'm Janice Brown, 145 North 18th Street, Wheatley Heights, New York, 11798.
Okay, I do affirm to tell the truth?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead, I'm sorry.
So my question is, where is the pool going to be built? Is it going to be built in the back of the house, on the side of the house? Because my property, my backyard is butted against his backyard.
Believe. Yeah.
7 feet off the property line, 7 feet off.
It's in the back of the house,
You're directly behind the?
Yes,
directly behind it.
yes.
So it's 7 feet off of both the back and the side yard.
On the side? Okay. Okay, because I'm just wondering about my cesspool area.
Your cesspool's in the back or in the front?
In the back.
In the back? Mm-hmm. Nah, it's pretty far away from where your
Okay,
cesspool would
because
be.
I know it's a very narrow space from his deck to my fence. And I was wondering if they was going to try to put the pool there.
No,
Okay.
it's on the side of that deck, like.
Okay. Okay. Okay, okay, I'm good with that. Okay, that's my
Okay.
question. Thank you.
Thank you. Good night.
Okay, thank you.
Would anyone else like to be heard on this application? For the record, there are none. Okay, we're going to close the hearing. We're going to reserve decision. You'll get the decision in the mail. Thanks for coming down. And we need new plans, yeah.
Yes,
We're
we'll
also
submit
waiting.
the
We'll keep the
plans.
record open for the plans.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Okay. Next application is application 22-220 of Ryan Helfst, property located in Farmingdale.
Hi, good evening. Ryan Helfst here.
Name and address, I need your address for the record.
35 County Line Road, Farmingdale, New York.
Okay, and do you affirm to tell the truth?
Yes, sir.
For the record, we have a Planning Division memo dated January 9th, 2023. We have a prior approval In case number 04360B, owner occupied, and there's a whole bunch of different conditions and stuff with this approval. Oh, is it? Yeah.
Correct.
What? Okay. Environmental control memo dated January 10th, 2023. If approved, this application will not result in significant impact. Survey by, kind of cut off. Anastasia. I can't see. Oh, where? I don't see. Oh. Oh, okay, on top. Patasanto? Let me help.
I can't say the name either.
May, dated May 26th, what is it?
22?
22?
So he said?
You see it here? Okay. 22. Tax map acting as an area map, and
Chairman, there's 13 photographs.
what would you like to tell us about the application?
Yeah, hi, I purchased the property in July of '22, this past year. It's an existing house, and we are requesting variance for the setbacks on the side yards and the front yard. The house was built in 1948, and it's one of the oldest ones on the block.
So, this is an existing house?
Correct. And it's, as you can see, very small, 480 square feet on a small lot. So that larger house to the north, I believe, is the one that
That's the one
has
I
the
was reading
setback
in.
one as well.
Yeah, the town had no record of this dwelling, so he's here.
That's why we're here, okay. There are some covenants and restrictions on the planning memo, did you see that?
I saw that, and I
Do you
would.
agree to them?
I don't, not to number 6.
Not to number 6.
If we could clarify that the further expansions of the dwellings is not into the front and the side yards, I'd be okay, but I want the ability to go back and up in the future.
Okay. We'll take that in consideration, but yeah, there's room in the back, I understand. Yeah, and you want to go up, well, yeah. So. Yeah, you can go back. Lots of room to go back. So you would agree not to go to either side?
Correct, yeah.
You just needed to go back?
Or forward, yeah, for that matter.
Forward, okay.
Only second story and back if you chose.
Correct.
Okay. I will eliminate covenant number 6, no further expansion of the dwelling.
Do you want to amend? Yeah.
Okay.
Further expansion, limited to height and rear yard only.
I'll second that.
Can we speak it in? Yeah, thank you.
Number 6, covenant of restrictions, further expansion of the dwelling, limited to height and rear yard only.
Second. All in favor? Aye. Good.
Perfect, thank you.
All right, I have no further questions. Any questions from the board? Would anyone like to be heard on this application? Yes is no. Okay.
Thanks for your time, everyone.
Hold on. I'll make a motion to approve application 22-220 with the amended covenant restriction on number 6. And that's it, I'll approve it.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, good luck.
Thank you.
Good night.
Yeah, I know, it's like, next application is application 22-234 of Car Star Auto Space Collision, property located in Copiague. Name and address for the
Good evening,
record.
everyone. Sebastian Turkowski, 63 Wilmington Drive, Melbourne, New York, 11747.
Okay. And do you affirm to tell the truth?
Yes, I do.
For the record, we have a planning division memo dated January 6, 2023, environmental control memo dated January 10th, 2023. Staff.
Chairman, the environmental control memo was updated.
It was? Oh, yeah. Where'd that go? So the updated environmental control is dated January 11th, 2023. If approved, this application will not result in significant impact. Fire Marshal's report dated January 12th, 2023, has a valid permit. Survey by Mark Gelsman, dated June 2nd, 2017. The tax map acting as an area map, and
Chairman, there's 3 photographs.
what would you like to tell us about the application?
I'm here to renew previously granted permit for 3 years, hopefully this time for 5 years, to operate as a collision, as a public garage and auto body shop.
Turn the hearing over to Mr. Delavecchia.
So I was there today, and the pictures presented here definitely don't look like it was that like this morning when I was there. I counted at least 15 cars on the site. I know that one of the variances were for 3 parking spaces, three for parking and 3 for storage. None of the cars looked like they were there for storage. They looked like they were there for repair. There was also a boat on the side of the property.
Correct.
And the barbed wire is still on the site. It seems that has been an issue for the past 6 years.
Originally, there was an issue with razor wire,
Yeah.
so we removed that. And that last time that satisfied the board and everyone else. So I don't understand why this is a problem again. How would I get a permit last time if I didn't even touch that?
Because I guess you never legalized it.
No, I know there was a razor wire on top of the barbed wire, and we removed the razor wire originally.
So there's still barbed wire?
What's that?
Is there still barbed wire?
Yes.
Did you take a permit for that?
I didn't think I needed one. So, I mean, if I do, then I go for it. I have no problem
Yeah,
whatsoever.
you could either remove it, or you could apply for a
It's
permit
been there
it.
for, I don't know, 50 years.
Yeah.
I talked to the neighbor that owned the property next door. He has it too, so,
Yeah.
I mean,
That doesn't mean his is legal, or means
Right,
that
I mean, if I
he
get a-
doesn't have a permit for it.
I don't mind. If I have to remove it, it's
Yeah.
just, it's been like that, so I didn't touch it.
It's either remove it or legalize. You can take a permit.
Right, I don't know what it involves to get it legalized, so if it's just gonna be a problem, then I'm just gonna take it down.
To legalize the barbed wire, you have to submit to the planning board. You can contact the planning department to get the application, and it would be for their review.
Again, I never done it before, so I'm gonna give it a try. If it's gonna be a major problem, then I'll remove it, okay?
Give it a try.
All right, very good.
That, and then I'd like to see the building operating according to the site plan with the 6 spaces in the back.
To be honest with you, we had a little situation at my brother's shop down the block.
Yeah.
His went on fire, and I had to keep some of his cars on my property
understand.
because it was,
Yeah.
so they can work around the other shop. It should be resolved within a couple of weeks.
Okay.
'cause,
And then what's with the dumpsters that was in the middle of the street?
we pull them out for
For them
pickup.
to come and pick them up?
Yeah.
And then what, you guys push
Was
them
it
back
empty
in the
when you saw
morning?
it?
I didn't,
We usually put it in right away. I mean,
yeah.
if it was full, then it's waiting for being picked up. But
Okay.
other than that, then, you know,
So
if
you guys bring them out to the
we
street?
bring him to the street,
For
yes.
Warner Bros. Come pick them up, and then you push
We
them
bring
back
him back in, yep.
Okay. So if you could take care of that barbed wire issue, and then, try to have the site according to the site plans?
I'm searching to find a proposal property so I can have an additional storage, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
that'd be great. I have no further questions, Mr. Chairman.
Any other questions from the board? Would anyone like to be heard on this application? For the record, there are none, I think. Outdoor storage of the vehicles.
I make a motion to amend application 22-234, according to the planning memo, to amend it to Lambert Avenue instead of Garfield Avenue.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
We're going to close the hearing. We're going to reserve decision. You'll get the decision in the mail, okay?
Great, thank you. Good evening.
Oh, yeah, you got to, either apply for the barbed wire or take it down, one or the other.
Okay, I'll take care of that.
Okay.
Thank you.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. Pamela Green, Office of the Town Attorney. Would the board like to provide any direction to either Ms. Riley or myself for any of the reserved applications?
Let's go with new plans, and this one, this guy's got the problem with the barbed wire. I don't think so, nothing to go back to. Is there a difference in the code for that?
We don't permit razor wire at all. You can apply for legalized barbed wire, but there are stipulations in the code about where you can put it. It can't be in front of the building lines, it can't be next to residential. There's a couple of things, but you can, but that goes.
Razor wire is a complete no, but
Right.
Okay.
barbed wire is yes, according to the
I never knew that.
And it also, like I said, has to be approved by the planning board.
So moving on to page 6 of the agenda. The application is Roll Right Towing, and we hope to have some action on that soon, but we don't have anything to report today. Moving on to page 7, the application is 22-155, Peter Tafali. The gentleman has agreed to cut back a portion of his expanded driveway, but is asking for time to do so. Moving on to page 8 of the agenda, the application is 22-198, Jeremy Block. I spoke with their expediter today. They are still awaiting additional FOIL information on similarly situated properties within the neighborhood and have asked for 2 more months to reserve, to allow them to obtain that information. Moving on to page 9 of the agenda, Maria Greco. The expediter was to provide updated plans showing one of the shed having been removed. The expediter was here before the board this evening, was tempted to ask about that, but we don't have any update on that.
We should have.
Page 10, the application is 22-212, and Ms. Riley has spoken to the expediter, who needs to provide new plans with the calculations of the proposed alterations to see if they exceed the amount allowable for a non-conforming use. The board was briefed on that last week. Moving on to page 11, the application is 22-216, A. Angela Holdings. New plans were received today showing that front column being eliminated. So now the plans examiner will re-examine it to see whether or not variance number 1 may be deleted in its entirety, about the 1-foot setback, or if it still requires a partial setback or not from a front yard setback. Okay?
Also, are we still waiting for financials on that, too?
Yes, we are. We're leaving the record open for that. Moving on to page 12 of the application. This application was heard last week, 22-224, Jose Mejia. The board wanted to see the lot cleared of unregistered cars, I believe, before moving the application. And I also believe the board wanted to have new plans showing a crawl space, no basement. Do we have that correct?
Yep.
Okay. Okay, moving on to the final page of the agenda. In your correspondence is item number 1. It's a letter from Andrew Braum requesting to have his application adjourned, which the board did. And item number 2 is notice from the Village of Babylon. There are 3 applications located within 500 feet of the town's jurisdiction, if the board members would like to review any of those, which brings us on to your reading pleasure over your long weekend. This weekend are reviewing the minutes of December 15th, if anyone would like to recall that, and then moving on to reviewing the minutes of January 5th. And as well, we have the findings for Joanne McGinnis. So please note it's mislabeled, but you have the correct findings in your packet. So Joanne McGinnis, if you'll recall, was the very large side awning. And the board has given her many, many months to cut back that awning and to no reply. So those are for the board's review. There is pending correspondence on Rollright that we hope to bring to fruition next week. And with that,
I would just note that it's the 26th for the adjournment and not the 25th. It's on the letter for the 26th. It's in the minutes here as the 25th.
thank you.
Chairman, make a motion to adjourn.
Second.